Hello and good morning. I am Gabriela Bitar,
Garcia,
Rebecca Martinez,
and today we will be presenting a student-directed scene from the play Peter and the Starcatcher, written by Becky. With that, we proudly represent Troop 6614.
I said forget about sleep, Teddy.
He's spark out.
Peter, oh Peter, I thought...
The most incredible thing. You won't believe. I met this...
Right, well, good to see you, Peter. Shall we wake the boys?
Been kind of a long day. Leave them be.
Just us then.
Yeah, just us. Oh, you should open the trunk. Make sure the star stuff's okay.
Oh no, that's not no.
I want to sit in the star
They
stuff.
are a danger, exposure to so much of it.
I don't care.
Well, I do. I was so worried. We waited and waited. I told you you'd come. We waited. In the rain, in the dark. I was so worried.
I'm here. Do you think I've changed?
You're dirtier.
So, I've been meaning to ask you about the, you know, about that thing you did?
What thing?
The kiss, okay? The kiss.
What kiss?
The kiss, the one you gave me.
Oh, the kiss.
What kiss, she says.
Well, what about it?
Nobody's ever wanted to kiss me, that's all.
Want to? I didn't want to. We're about to be eaten alive
I
and...
was just sitting there and you grabbed me
Oh, for
like...
heaven's sake, such a fuss. Didn't you like it?
Oh, no, it was fine.
You didn't like it. You didn't like it, and now you're telling me you didn't like it. Unbelievable.
I'm not saying I didn't like it.
What are you saying?
I guess I'm saying that... I guess I'm asking...
You stop that right now. I won't answer any such question. You're inclining toward the sentimental, and that's all well and good for a boy, but the fact
Inclining
is...
towards what?
We girls cannot afford to be sentimental. We must instead be strong, and when I marry, my husband will have to...
Marry? Whoa, you thought I was asking you to marry me?
Not you, you swat. The ego. And when I marry, I shall make it very clear to this person that sentimentality is not on the calendar. You'll have to lump it or leave it. And if you should leave, I'll stay a spinster and pin my hair back and monitor weekends at hospital and have wild words for their own sake like hyacinth and Piccadilly and onyx. I'll have a good old dog and think what I like. And have a different sort of family. With friends, you know. I understand that things are only as important as what you give up for them. Even if I, in the face of death, may have, you know.
Wanted to?
I didn't say that.
Got it.
Good.
Wow.
You know, now that you're here, I may just rest my eyes for a little.
Thank you.
Tell me what your name again.
Gabriela Bitar.
Gabrielle. Nice job.
Thank you.
Very good. So, talk a little bit, you know, it is often been said that every scene is a chase scene in regard to blocking and that kind of stuff. And you did some nice movement of your actors. What was the driving? What was your driver in regard to setting up the blocking of this scene? What was your main course of action?
My main course of action was I wanted to emphasize the importance of Peter wanting to grow up, well, Peter wanting to stay a child, while Molly grew up. So we had Peter start on stage left, and then Molly on stage right. And then throughout the course of their actions and their thoughts and what they're going through, they switch spots through an evolution, and that emphasizes how Peter is wanting to stay a child, and then Molly wants to grow up. Is how I did that.
Talk a little bit about the relationship between Molly and Peter.
At first, at this point in the play, they have just gone through so many adventures and they had been on the ship and then now they're back on this island. And they really aren't sure what they feel for each other at this point. They're kind of confused. Molly's very perplexed because at this point, she's very mature and she has a bunch of leadership qualities. and she isn't sure what to feel as a child because she's been treated as an adult most of her life. So now with Peter here, she's seeing this more childhood type of vibe, and she's realizing, well, I could be that, but throughout the course of this scene right here, she realizes that she wants to grow up and become an adult and go on.
How do they feel about each other? I'm talking about relationship.
They aren't quite sure since they're children. They're only 12 and 13. They kind of have feelings for each other at this point, and they're kind of exploring that right now. They're like, oh, maybe I do feel this way, and maybe I don't. Which Peter at this point is pretty perplexed and confused, but he kind of gets a sense of the drive that he does love her, but not love in a more intimate relationship, love of a friendship.
Okay. And I just have one more question. So when he came in at the beginning, he had been gone for a while?
Yes, he had, before this scene, they had been chased by this crocodile, and in order for Molly to go towards and to get the trunk, he distracted the alligator and let him chase him around the island.
So there's relief that he's gotten back
Yes.
safely. Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, some of the stuff you're describing could probably be more forthright in the subtext of a lot of the dialogue that we're seeing here. So maybe stronger choices of how do you feel about that crocodile chase or being on this island with regard to this relationship. Sure, there's going to be some ambiguity because you don't know what the other person's feeling, but why are you feeling nervous about how this other person feels? And maybe that would be in the subtext for your actors so that they could know how to deliver some of the lines, I think.
How much time do we have? Hooray! All right, Gabriela, so why did you choose this play and this scene of this play?
I chose this play because I thought it was really interesting to see the evolution of a childhood innocence with a relationship and through the adventures you go on. Because as a child, you're very innocent. You don't know what you're thinking. Whatever you say comes out. You don't really think before you act. And then you have this new character, Molly, and she's very mature and straightforward. She has this more adult perspective on life. And then with Peter in the mix, she kind of begins to realize the importance of being a child at one point and growing up. And then this scene, I believe, is the most important scene in the play, because this is when they make the ultimate decision of whether they wanted to grow up or stay a child.
For the two of you, what are your names?
I'm Jose.
Jose and
And Becky.
Jose and Becky. What is maybe some direction, notes, feedback that you received from Gabriela that either defined how you were going to do this scene or completely changed how you were going to do this scene?
Something that she told me personally was that Peter was like really confused throughout the entire thing, that he's like a kid-ish. So when I saw the script at first, I was just like, okay, you know, teenage relationship, kind of odd, oh, you kissed me, something like that. But then I realized, no, Gabby told me that they were young and they're just like, oh, what's a kiss, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that really helped me like to develop my character.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that Molly was more mature than a regular child. So that really helped me. When I saw the script, I thought to act more childish in some way, but when I heard that I needed to act more mature, then that really helped me set up the character.
Did you, how many hours would you say you rehearsed?
We've had a lot of rehearsals. I would say maybe 24 to 30 hours.
Did you ever disagree with the direction that you were being given? That's an on-the-spot question. But my reason that I ask is, you know, when you're working with your actors, what would you say the give and take of how much did she allow you to bring what you felt the character called for versus what she as the director felt the scene needed?
I liked her direction a lot, and I took it and tried to show it in her vision. And yeah, I don't think I disagreed in anything really.
I'm sorry.
Go.
I just wanted to talk about a technical acting thing. at the beginning of the scene, really all the way through the scene, but especially at the beginning, you have a lot of cut-off lines. Lines where your character is interrupted. It's a technical thing, but you really need to plan to finish those lines. Plan to say the rest of it, and say the rest of it until you're cut off. Otherwise, what we hear, and we heard this a little bit, it got better once you sat down, I thought. But at the beginning, it would be an anticipation to be cut off. So it was kind of like someone would stop on a word like "and," hitting "and" hard, which isn't what we do. "And" is sort of throwaway word. You should know what comes after "and" plan to say it. Even though the writer didn't write it, you're the actor, you're going to finish that thought, and then you're actually cut off. And it just helps with believability, so that's something, it's a timing issue. And I think timing is one of the tricky things in this scene. Timing of, give and take in dialogue, so good job, Beth.
Thank you.
Confusion is a difficult note to give an actor. So sometimes you want to be specific in why someone's confused. They might be pulled in two different directions, but be very specific on what those two directions are. A child, you might think a child doesn't know what they want, but actually a child does know what they want, even if it's not at the level of an adult. So for someone to play a child, keep in mind, okay, this is what motivates this child. This child is into, whatever, toys or something specific that you can come up with. But at least that'll give the actor a direction on how to portray that character, rather than telling them, okay, you don't really know what you want, because that's not much of a foundation to give a performance.
Well done.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.